Hello, welcome to the ninth module of the course Audit and Assurance. We are getting closer to the end of the course, and we'll be looking at International Audit and Accounting Standard. International Audit and Accounting Standard today, and under this we will compare audits and accounting standard across jurisdiction. We'll also analyze roles of global bodies like the IAASB and IASB. We also look at, we assess cross-border regulatory challenges. Why international standard actually matters? Why does international standard matter? And the first is globalized economic demand comparability and transparency. Is a globalized economic demand for comparability and transparency. And the international standard on auditing and IFRS provides global benchmark as it pertains to this, and variation exists across jurisdiction due to legal, economic, and cultural differences, and practitioners must adapt to diverse regulatory landscape. And there is international standard coming up because diverse rule regulations are across every border of countries or nation, and there is need for harmonization of these things to form an harmonized, globally recognized pattern or principle or standard for auditing. And this is why it is very important to look into this. Let's look at the globalized standard setting body. We have some key international organizations that are vested with this, and the first is the International Audit and Assurance Standard Board, and this is an independent standard setting body operating under the International Federation of Accountants, and develops international standard of accounting and related international standard for assurance and related service engagement. And the international standard on accounting establishes globally recognized requirement for high quality auditing and provides a comprehensive framework covering all aspects of audit and engagement from acceptance through reporting. Another is the International Accounting Standard Board, IASB, and it develops international financial reporting standard, providing a global framework for financial reporting. And IFRS focuses on providing useful information to investors and other capital market participants. Another is the International Ethics Standard Board for Accountants. For this, they develop the International Code of Ethics for professional accountants, including the International Independent Standard. And this code provides a comprehensive ethics framework addressing fundamental principles, threats, and safeguard, and specific independence requirement for various engagements. And over 130 jurisdictions have adopted or converged with IAS, while 140 plus with IFRS. Looking at the United States, we will take it one after the other. Some selected countries, we will take them. It's actually a dual regulatory system. It makes use of a dual regulatory system, and for the PCAOB, the Public Complaint Accounting Oversight Board, they regulate public complaint audits in the United States, and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants under GAAP applies to non-public entity. And for US GAAP, rule-based, it's actually rule-based and set by the Financial Accounting Standard Board. And key features include the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, the Section 404 Internal Control Attestation, and the state level CPA licensing. For the United Kingdom, as per the post-Brexit framework, the Financial Reporting Council vested with their responsibility to set UK auditing standard based on IAS, based on the international standard on auditing, and the UK Complaint Act 2006 mandates audit for most complaints, and with some exemptions. And based on the financial reporting, UK listed complaints use IFRS as adopted by the UK, and the audit oversight is vested with the FRC to conduct audit quality review and enforcement. For Canada, they are in full adoption of the international standard on accounting, and the Canadian audit standard, this is the highest with minimal Canadian addition. And for the accounting, public company use IFRS, private entity may use the accounting standard for private enterprises. And for oversight, the Canadian Public Accountability Board inspects public complaint audits. And for professional regulations, it's regulated by the provincial chartered professional accountants bodies. For Australia, the Australia audit standard adopts ISA into law. We adopt ISA into law, and as per the accounting standard, Australian accounting standard board sets IFRS equivalent standard, and the regulators of this are the Australian Security and Investment Commission, who registers and inspects auditors. And recent reform under Australia is an enhanced independence, transparency, and whistleblower protection. We have for European Union, and for this it requires ISA for statutory audit, and IFRS is mandatory for listed complaint. And under Nigeria, it has adopted the ISA as Nigerian standard on auditing, and the accounting, as per the accounting, Nigeria uses IFRS and IFRS for small and medium scale enterprise, and the regulators of this are the FRC and the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, who oversees auditing and financial reporting in Nigeria. We have for emerging markets, and we'll be looking at the China, India, and the United Arab Emirates. For China, China has developed the Chinese standard on auditing based on the ISA, and for accounting, China has developed China accounting standard substantially converged with IFRS, but retaining some difference reflecting China's unique economic system and regulatory environment. And for India, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India issues standard on auditing based on ISAs with certain modification and additional guidance. And for accounting, India has adopted the Indian accounting standard converged with IFRS for specified complaint, while others may follow Indian GAAP based on accounting standard issued by the ICAI. And for the United Arab Emirates, it requires ISA and IFRS, but enforcement varies by free zone or Emirates. For Kenya, Ghana, and South Africa, they adopted ISA and IFRS. And for Brazil, the CPC, Accounting Pronunciation Committee, issues IFRS converge standard, while the CFC sets auditing standard based on ISAs. For Argentina, they are moving towards IFRS adoption, and the Federal Federation of Professional Council in Economic Sciences issues audit standard, and common challenges in the implementation capacity and enforcement. In conclusion, this module have shown that there is need to understand both international standard and jurisdictional implementation. Continuous learning is essential due to evolving standard and regulation, and there is opportunity for specialization in regional or sector-specific assurance. Thank you.